Leon and Spark, the Elephant Shark, by Emily Rushton. For my delightful nephews, Leon and Peter, with much love, on Leon's 5th birthday, 2012. Chapter 1. A Good Day Sandwich. Near the bottom of the earth, tucked below Australia, is New Zealand, stretched out long and skinny. Between the rolling hills and golden beaches lies Auckland City, and on the outskirts is a little white house with a big yard. That's where I live, with my busy mama, my strong daddy, and my baby brother Peter. My name's Leon. Today's really special. It's my birthday, the 5th of December, early summer in New Zealand, and there's a slight chill in the air. The sky's grey, and the sun's not quite up yet when Daddy tiptoes into my room and gently shakes me awake.
Wake up, little man. Happy birthday!
My eyes flick open, and I rub them a bit before realizing what Daddy said. I stop, peek out at him, and a grin slowly spreads across my face. I push off the covers real fast and jump into his arms. Yay, it's my birthday!
Yep, my boy's growing up.
He gives me a big bear hug and a kiss on the top of my head.
I thought you might like a little birthday fishing trip. What do you reckon?
I nod excitedly. You have to get up super early to go fishing. That's the best time, Daddy says, and he knows heaps about fishing. I'm a really good fisherman too, and love going out with Daddy and my nana.
And I've got a good day sandwich waiting for you. Then we're off. Get dressed quick. We need to be on the water before the fish finish their breakfast.
Through my bedroom window, I see the fishing rods sticking out of the boat. Daddy's already packed. I race and get dressed. I'm so excited. I have to keep telling myself to be quiet so I don't wake up Mama and Peter. Daddy's Good Day Sandwich is famous and has been ever since he invented it when I was just a baby. It's a breakfast sandwich with bacon, cream cheese and manuka honey and is really yummy. It's so yummy it puts you in a good mood all day, which is why it's called the Good Day Sandwich. I eat so fast that the honey drips down my fingers, and I'm still licking them as I climb into the car. I wait patiently, kind of, while Daddy locks up the house and gets in. He turns to me, and he's just as excited as I am.
Are you ready for your next surprise?
And he hands me a big present he's been hiding.
You can open it on the way.
Chapter 2. Snorkel Talk. I hold the parcel carefully because it's a very funny shape. It's as long as my arms, bumpy and wrapped in paper, with sharks smiling toothy grins and wearing party hats. Sharks are one of my favourite animals. I've even seen Daddy catch them before. Thanks, Daddy! I start unwrapping it, being a little bit careful because now the car's moving. The first thing I see is a plastic tube, then some squidgy rubber bits, some hard blue plastic, and last of all some glass. Finally, it's all unwrapped, and lying on my lap is my own mask and snorkel. I start wiggling around with happiness.
That's from Mama and me. You're so good at swimming, I thought I'd teach you to snorkel properly after fishing today. What do you think?
Yes, yes, yes! I shouted, except it sounded more like woof, 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 because I had already pulled my mask on and shoved the snorkel into my mouth. Why can't we go before fishing? But I sounded all stuffed up like I have my mouth full of marshmallows. Somehow understanding my snorkel talk, Daddy explains.
Because the fish will have finished their breakfasts and won't want our bait by then. Besides, it'll be warmer.
I feel a bit sad I can't snorkel straight away. But then a happier thought comes. Is Nana coming today?
She's meeting us there.
I start singing along to Daddy's rock on the radio. Normally, I'm a good singer, but I sound so funny with the snorkel, I keep laughing. Daddy's having the same trouble. I must look as silly as I sound. The trip goes quickly. My mask's gone all foggy by the time I spy the sparkly blue sea, and the sun's just coming up in the distance. We've arrived in Maraetai. As we turn into the boat club, I can see Nana lifting rods out of her car. She has a neat pile of things stacked ready to go, and right on top is a neatly wrapped parcel. A present! Daddy swings the car right round and starts backing the boat down the jetty into the water. He's a real pro. Backing trailers is hard. He stops so I can jump out without getting my feet wet, and I run over to see Nana.
"Happy birthday, my gorgeous grandson,"
says Nana as I run into her arms for a big hug.
"What a beautiful day for a birthday fishing trip."
I smile, pull away and give her a quick kiss. I still have my mask on and the snorkel bobs along below it. Do you want some help, Nana? That big present looks really heavy.
Look at that cheeky grin.
Nana giggles.
You're too smart. You can open your present when we're fishing. I can see you've already got one. Looks like a good fit,
she says, fiddling with the mask's straps.
Do you like it? You must be so excited about learning to snorkel in the sea.
I nod so fast that my snorkel bounces crazily, whacking my face. We both giggle.
You're so funny. You always make me smile,
Nana says, giving my hair a ruffle.
Come on, let's get this stuff on the boat.
Chapter 3. The Secret Ridge. Together, we pack everything into the boat, and I get in. Nana helps Daddy guide the boat off the trailer into the water. Then she walks along the jetty, holding the rope to stop it floating away, while Daddy runs back and parks the car. When he gets back, Daddy steps carefully into the boat. It's rocking gently. Grasping the sides, Nana hops in too, and we start to float free of the jetty. We all tug on our life jackets and click the clasps together. They smell salty, the wonderful, happy smell of fishing. Daddy starts the motor and it splutters, releasing a puff of petrol-smelling fumes, and the little boat starts forward slowly. Nana says how much she loves the early morning sunlight dancing across the water, and the light breeze blowing fresh sea air on her face. Her favourite time to fish. I notice the pink and purple colours of the sunrise are being smudged, taken over by the bright blue that's now covering the sky. It's sure going to be an amazing day. Daddy turns to me.
So where do you want to fish, birthday boy?
Pop spot, I say without hesitating.
Alrighty then.
And he guides the boat slowly out of the harbour.
Would the birthday boy like to help steer?
Yes, yes, yes! And I scramble onto Daddy's knee, which is difficult with my big orange life jacket and dangly snorkel. I grab the wheel and Daddy says,
Just keep the nose of the boat pointing at that bay on Waiheke Island.
Pop's fishing spot is very near Waiheke. Pop is my great-grandfather, and he has been fishing here for years and years and years. I try really hard to keep the nose of the boat pointing in the right direction, but the waves keep knocking it sideways. Each time I get it pointing straight again, another wave hits the side and splashes sea spray over us.
Don't worry, Leon. You're doing well,
Daddy says.
That always happens. Should we go a bit faster?
I can see his hand already on the accelerator, and he's grinning widely. I smile, nod and look at Nana. She looks thrilled. She loves going fast. Daddy pulls on the lever, and the boat jumps forward so quickly that my head gets forced back onto Daddy's chest.
Yahoo!
I hear Nana yell into the wind. Yahoo! I join in. I can hear her giggles above all the noise. The engine, the wind and the waves slapping the bottom of the boat. Nana giggles a lot. She's fun. Her blonde curls whip back and forth in the wind. The boat is really jolting around now as it bounces across the wave tops, spray flying through the air. Daddy helps me hold the steering wheel, but only a bit. It doesn't take long before we get to the shallow waters near Waiheke, where Pop's secret ridge runs along the bottom of the ocean. This is where the fish are. We line up the tree on one island with the hills on another, the way Pop taught Nana and Daddy way before I was even born. We stop the motor, and with a loud splash, the anchor goes rattling over the side. Chapter 4. A Fishy Kiss. While the grown-ups start rigging and baiting the rods, I take my present from Nana. This one is long and flat, wrapped with paper that has elephants eating birthday cake with their long trunks. I love elephants because when I was little, I went to South Africa with my mama to visit her family. I saw heaps of animals, but my favourite was a baby elephant that walked behind its mama, holding her tail with its small trunk. I ripped the paper open and I hardly believed my eyes. Nana has given me a pair of bright blue snorkeling fins.
I thought they might help today,
Nana says with a wink. I eagerly tug them on. They're a perfect fit, and I waggle them in the air. I lean over and give Nana a big kiss. They're awesome, Nana. Thanks.
Good, I'm glad you like 'em. Now here is your rod, bait on and ready to go.
I swing the rod as far out as I can, then slowly let the line out. I can see Daddy watching to make sure I don't get it all tangled. The line goes slack and starts to curl. The sinkers hit the bottom. I wind it up 2 turns, then get comfy. With my finger just touching the line, I wait. Soon I can feel the tiny jerks that mean the fish are nibbling my bait. It's not long until there's a sharp pull and my rod tip bends right over. Got one! I shout.
And it looks like a biggie,
says Nana, who is still getting her rod ready. I'm determined to get this one, and I fight to hang on. I start to pull the rod tip high, then quickly wind the handle while I drop it again, reeling it in bit by bit, like a real fisherman. The fish is putting up a really good fight. I'm very strong, but my arms are starting to get sore. Finally, I see a flash of silver and a bit of red, and then the big face of a snapper! I yell excited. Daddy guides it into the net and lifts it up into the boat. The tail sticks out and keeps wiggling. It's the biggest I've ever caught. Daddy takes out the hook. I proudly pose with my whopper and Nana takes a picture of me kissing it before it's tossed into the chili bin. It flaps around, wiggling and jerking, making quite a noise. Then it goes still.
Nana Joyce will be happy to have some snapper with your birthday dinner tonight.
Nana Joyce is my great-grandmother. Everyone is going to her and Pop's house tonight for my birthday. Soon we are all catching snapper and Kawaii. Chapter 5. Motuhi Island. At 11 o'clock, the fish have finished their breakfast and stopped biting, and my snapper is still the biggest.
I think it's time for a picnic. And then perhaps some snorkeling if Leon's arms aren't too tired,
Daddy says, giving me a little grin. Yay! I'm not too tired, but I am hungry. We turn the boat into a bay on Motuhi Island, where it's calm and sheltered, and we drop anchor. My Aunt Emily told me she used to volunteer on Motuhi Island. She said it was a farm once, but a few years ago some people started planting it and introducing native wildlife. Emily spent lots of time there helping before she went travelling overseas. Even Nana and my uncles Ben and Joel have helped. The water is sparkling and so clear that I can see the white and yellow grains of sand on the bottom. Daddy rolls up his shorts and slips into the water with a small splash. Nana gets out a chili bin and gives it to him. The tops of the waves just touch his shorts and he has to keep on his tippy toes to stop getting too wet. Daddy is really strong. He carries the chili bin in one hand, a bag in the other, and me on his back all the way to shore. Nana jumps in with a squeal. She is shorter and gets a lot wetter. Now all ashore, we go exploring for a good picnic place. We choose a sunny spot looking out over the bay by a big, sprawling pohutakawa. Every December, pohutakawas get all wrapped up in red flowers. Nana says that's why it's our unofficial national Christmas tree. We set out the picnic. I can hear bees buzzing, cicadas chirping, and the birds singing nearby. I turn my face to the sun to feel the heat of its rays and the gentle sea breeze. A perfect day to enjoy my chippy sandwich. As soon as I've finished, I grab my wetsuit and new snorkeling gear.
Go on then, get changed.
Daddy says.
I'll be there in a minute.
The grown-ups pack up. Then we all get our gear on and make our way back to the boat. Chapter 6. Learning to breathe. Again. Daddy helps me put on my mask properly. First you have to spit in it and wipe it around the glass and then rinse it out in the seawater.
It sounds gross,
He explains, showing me how to do it.
but it stops the mask fogging up. And now you have to get the straps just right.
It's tight on my face, but not too much. Daddy makes sure none of my hair is stuck underneath. Otherwise, the water sneaks in.
Right, pop your face in the water and see if this baby leaks.
I thrust my head under the waves. I can see the shells on the bottom and a tiny shrimp by Daddy's toes. I'm good at holding my breath and I stay under until he taps me on the head. No water leaks in, so next he teaches me to breathe through the snorkel. It's easy to do above the water, but when I go under, I have to keep thinking about it to get it right. It's a bit scary at first, but I soon get the hang of it. Now I can stay under longer and really look around. I watch as Daddy's leg hairs sway each time a wave goes past. The shrimp is now trying to hide in them.
I think you're ready.
Daddy grabs my boogie board from the boat.
Hop on. I'll help you put your fins on. Right, that's it. We're ready to go.
Daddy holds my boogie board by the rope, and together we swim slowly, looking at everything around us. I'm balancing so that I can swim with my mask in the water but still stay on my board. I feel super powerful swimming with my fins on. Each kick makes me go heaps further than before. Nana is already snorkeling, looking for shellfish. We can see her over by the rocky point, near a deep channel. I like watching the seaweed swaying in the swell. I see lots of fish and even some spiky kinna that Daddy swims down to point out. He has just shown me some mussels when a big patch of sand, about the size of the rug on our lounge floor, floats up like a magic carpet and starts gliding away. I have to look closely before I see that the sand is actually spilling off, and a big, beautiful stingray appears. It's been hiding, waiting for small fish to swim past to eat. The stingray looks like it's flying through the water in slow motion, like a big undersea bird. We bring our heads out of the water to see where Nana is. I notice she's waving to us, trying to get us to come over. Nana wants us, Daddy. Wonder what she's found. Chapter 7. All tied up. Daddy and I swim quickly towards Nana. I kick my new flippers hard and Daddy only has to pull me a wee bit. We are moving very fast through the water. Nana is in a small bay with a lot of rocks. We have to be careful not to get too close to them in case a wave pushes us onto them. That would hurt heaps. As we get nearer, we can see something moving fast in the water. It's making bubbles that swirl round and round, making the water misty, like when Daddy kicks his flippers fast. Nana's treading water, back a bit from all the bubbles. She shouts,
Some type of shark, but it's trapped. I can't get close to help. It's too scared and keeps thrashing around. It's weird, though. It's got a big trunk like an elephant's.
We all stop swimming and just watch the strange shark. After a bit, it stops struggling. I can see some fishing line wrapped around its tail and snags tight in some rocks. Daddy pulls my boogie board over to Nana.
You two stay here. I've got a knife. I'll see if I can cut him loose.
Be careful, Luke,
Warns Nana.
if he shoves you against the rocks or whacks your knife. Just be careful.
She looks scared. She grabs my hand and we both put our masks in the water to watch. I'm not sure I want to watch. I'm getting a little worried about Daddy now too. He swims closer and tries to creep up from behind, slowly, so he doesn't scare it. I can see the creature breathing heavily and it looks very tired. I wonder how it eats. Well, its long trunk would be good for finding food in rocky cracks and on the sand. It has things that look like elephant ears too. Maybe he can hear every little thing for miles. Then he could find things to eat. Just then, the shark looks right at me, and I can see he's as scared as I am. He jerks around, sees Daddy with the knife, and all of a sudden goes crazy. There are bubbles everywhere, and I can't see Daddy anymore. I'm so frightened, I forget to breathe through my snorkel. Seawater swirls into my mouth. I start coughing and have to come up for air. I don't bother to sort out the snorkel. Daddy's in danger of being hit by the thrashing monster. I take a big breath and look back down. Suddenly, I have a thought. Maybe if I can calm and distract the shark, he'll stop whipping about. I start to sing. Well, it's underwater singing, which is hard, but I've done it lots in swimming pools. It's a bubbly sound like a cross between a dolphin's and a whale's voice. I'm not singing very loud because I'm so scared, and the shark has been quite noisy, even under the water. The bubbles where the shark is start to slow down again, but I'm running out of breath. I keep singing though, louder and louder. At last I can see Daddy, and he's safe. I come up for air, gasping, trying to get my breath back. This time I sort out my snorkel properly. Nana gives me the thumbs up and smiles underneath her mask. I put my head back into the water and start to sing again. This time I can hear myself better. And so can the shark. Now he's staring at me. For a minute I get a bit worried. Maybe he wants to attack me. But then I see that the shark doesn't look scared anymore. And he doesn't look angry either. So I keep singing. It's quite hard to breathe through the snorkel and sing as well, but I stick with it. The shark starts to sway and make small, funny movements. I can see Daddy trying to sneak up again, so I start singing louder, hoping the shark won't notice him.
I think there's something wrong with him,
Nana says.
He is moving very strangely, and he's a big lumpy tummy.
She's right. The shark's bulging, as if he's eaten something really big. I once saw a snake with a belly like this on TV. It had eaten a big parrot. But how would this shark eat something so big? Maybe he's eaten lots of little things, I wonder, and now he feels yuck, like when I eat too many lollies. That makes my tummy stick out, and then I feel sick too. Daddy's now getting very close to the shark's tail. I watch him reach out for the fishing line and start trying to gently cut through. The shark feels the movement and turns. Oh no! I have to save Daddy! Without thinking, I swim quickly towards them, yelling. The shark sees me and, whipping back around, lets out a loud, scared scream. It's given Daddy enough time. The line's cut, and the shark's free. Chapter 8. The Biggest Surprise. But the shark doesn't swim away. Instead, he starts jerking, like my snapper in the chili bin. He looks in even more pain than before. I decide to keep singing to him. He looks at me again, and then, suddenly, his whole belly shakes. Something is really wrong. His trunk reaches out to me through the water, and he makes a loud squeal. Bubbles erupt from his mouth and trunk, like a fizzy drink. I kick closer and gently touch his trunk. It's rough and warm. I stroke it and keep singing to him. It isn't long before Nana swims up next to me.
I think I know what's happening, she says.
Just then, a long squiggly thing appears from near the back of the shark's belly with a cloud of murky stuff. I look at Nana. What's happening? There's something inside him and it's hurting him heaps.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a him, Leon. I think she is having a baby.
I can't believe it. Now I know everything will be okay. Nana's delivered lots of babies as a doctor, and Daddy's a nurse, so they'll make sure everything's all right. But they don't need to do anything. The shark gives a sudden squeeze, and out pops a small grey blob. Now the water's really murky. The mama shark pulls her trunk out of my fingers and twists around to the grey blob. As the cloudy stuff slowly clears, I can see a small tail. The blob starts wriggling. It's a teensy tiny elephant shark. I'm pretty sure I've heard of elephant sharks. That's what they must be. I look around for Nana and Daddy and see they are both floating on the waves, watching in amazement. Nana is smiling. She winks at me and reaches over to give my hand a squeeze. The three of us stay for a long time, bobbing above the ocean floor, just watching. I don't ever want to leave. Chapter 9. The Ride of a Lifetime. The baby is so cute. It's exactly like his mama, but really, really small. Just like when my brother Peter was born. The mama has cleaned the muck from her baby and now he's drinking from her tummy, just like Peter does from my mama. I can't wait to tell her. The baby's very shiny, and patches of sun sparkle on its skin. I decide to call it Spark. Spark the baby elephant shark. After Spark is full, the mama swims towards me. She strokes my cheek with the tip of her trunk. I know she's saying thank you. I decide to try and get the fishing line off her tail. Nana, I say, can you hold my boogie board, please? And I slip back into the sea. I'm a good swimmer, but the water here is really deep. I remember that animals with babies can get very angry if you try to go near them, and I feel a bit afraid. But Nana and Daddy are very close, and I'll be careful. I swim to the mama shark's head and look into her eyes. I try to ask her if it'll be all right to free the fishing line, but I don't know whether she understands. I keep my hand on her body, the way you do with horses, so they won't get scared, and swim slowly down to her tail. She's very close to the surface, so I can breathe through my snorkel. When I get near her tail, she turns to keep an eye on me. Spark comes around too to see what I'm doing. I start to untangle the knots slowly. It takes forever because the line is slippery in the water and the knots are tight from her thrashing about. My fingers are getting cold too, and I realize we must have been in the water for ages and ages now. Spark's mama must know I'm helping because she stays very still. Finally, I get the last knot free. I wind up the line and slip it inside my wetsuit so it can't hurt any more creatures. The mama turns around and swims up under me, lifting me out of the water and onto her back. I can feel her sides moving in and out as she breathes. Her skin is bumpy, which helps stop me from sliding off. She turns around and, slow enough for Spark to keep up, and me not to fall off, she glides back towards Nana and Daddy. I wave to them and smile a huge smile, maybe the biggest in my whole life.
You saved her, Leon! And her baby too!
Daddy smiles.
You're a hero!
Nana looks so happy she might cry. Chapter 10. Goodbyes. It doesn't take long for the elephant shark, with me on top and Spark clinging close, to reach Nana and Daddy. She dives slightly, and I slide back into the water next to my boogie board. I scramble on, and that's when I realize how tired I am. I let my head drop back into the sea, and I watch the two sharks circling back around again. The mama comes up to us, one by one, and touches her trunk lightly on our faces. She knows Nana was the first to find her in trouble, and Daddy had cut her free. I am last. From behind her comes a wiggle, and Spark swims up. He looks at his mama, then copies her, reaching out his tiny weeny trunk to touch my face. It is so small, and it tickles my cheek into a grin. I stroke Spark on his little head and tickle his belly. His mama turns and starts to swim away. Spark follows, grabbing his mama's tail. The two of them glide slowly off towards the deep ocean. We watch them until they're just two shadowy dots. Then they're gone. Finally, I sit up on my boogie board in the sunshine with the sea wind on my face and look at my smiling Nana and Daddy. That was the best birthday present ever! On the way home, I curl up, sleepily, in the hull of the boat with the life jackets, still with my mask, snorkel and flippers on. Daddy says the elephant shark must have come into the shallow waters to give birth when she got stuck in the line. I'm so glad we found her in time. I think about my birthday dinner at Nana, Joyce and Pop's tonight. About telling everyone the story of the rescue. The boat is bouncing, bouncing, bouncing along on the waves. Now I'm swimming. I'm grinning and swimming, holding on to Mama's tail. I'm Spark. I'm Spark, the baby elephant shark.